For years, we've heard don't pay running backs. Today, the Atlanta Falcons ignored that advice and made Bijan Robinson the highest paid running back in NFL history. Today, we're going to explain why they were absolutely right. The deal is 3 years up to $75 million with some record guarantees. Let's get into why they made the absolute right decision to pay Bijan. For years, everybody believed that you don't play running backs. It's crazy how the NFL has changed from, I remember back in my day, Emmitt Smith, LT, those guys were premium guys to have in your team. Eric Dickerson, even as soon or late or far back as Todd Gurley, a guy who I really loved coming out of Georgia and had a really good, productive 3 to 4 years in the NFL before he hurt himself. But the consensus was you never pay a running back because you can always get them coming out of college. You can always get them. Just never pay them. You never draft them early. And this is recent bias. You never draft them early. You never pay them. And you can replace them every 4 years because it's just the nature of the game. They were the premium position. They were overflowed. They were overflooded. Now that position has changed a little bit, and we'll talk about that another day. But as far as right now, the running back group is starting to come back. Recently, and I'll tell you when I think the shift changed. A couple years ago, so not last season, not the season before that, but basically 2 years ago, there were 3 or 4 key free agent running backs, like big time names. It was Derrick Henry, it was Saquon Barkley, it was Josh Jacobs, and it was Tony Pollard. Those were the 4 premium names. And they all got nice contracts and all produced once getting those nice contracts. They were key factors on every team that they went to. Josh Jacobs to Green Bay, Derrick Henry to the Ravens, Tony Pollard to Tennessee. That's probably a little less than the rest of them. And who was the other one? Josh Jacobs and Saquon to Philadelphia. Saquon had 2,000 yards. So that free agency class kind of shifted the role of how important the running back is in the NFL. Now let's kind of talk about why Bijan is so important. Like why I think he's worth every penny that he's getting. Like we're not talking about fantasy numbers, which they are good. We're not just talking about just stats in general, but actual football. When you see Bijan get the ball, and for those that don't know, go back and look at some of those clips that the Falcons shoot from the top. They have a camera that they have shooting down on the stadium. And go look at some of those runs from Bijan. He has vision, patience, contact balance. You see all this in the clips, and I'm going to show you some clips later. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He can actually run routes, which is the reason why you see Jeremiah Love went so high this year, because Jeremiah Love can actually go out there and run routes. He can come out and pass pro and do what he needs to do. And every time he touches the ball, there's a potential score, whether it be outside zone, inside zone, a screen, an actual real route, him playing quarterback in the Wildcat. Whenever he touches the ball, there's an opportunity for him to score. So when you have a guy like that, you keep him. And so that means you got to pay him if you want to keep him, because somebody else will. I'm going to briefly talk about all the ways Bijan can hurt you. Run the wide zone. If you follow the Falcons at any, you know that they're a wide zone team. They run it out of multiple formations. They run it out of under center. They run it out of pistol. They run it from the hip. Now, from the hip, probably the least, but they run it. And a lot of their other stuff has been built off of it. Now, I don't know if that's going to change under their new coach, but in the past, from tape that we have, you can see that. Play action. Now, he himself may not hurt you in play action, but the threat of him helps their play action. So you faking it to Bijan, then you got Drake London and Kyle Pitts and other guys out there that can get the ball because they have to react to Bijan getting the ball. Screen game. You give him a little screen with a lineman or 2 out in front of him, and if he can make the first guy miss, a lot of times it's going to get crazy. I can remember a play in particular, and I may put it on the screen here while I'm talking about it. He caught a little screen pass or something, and he just basically made one person miss, then outran everybody down the sideline for like 70, 80 yards. And it might have been longer than that. If I can find it, I'm going to put it on the screen. Angle routes. And if you play college football or Madden, the Texas route, that's what we're talking about. Coming out the backfield, look like you're going to the flats, stick that foot in the ground and go back in, while all the other routes are downfield or whatever, then he has the middle of the field to work. Bijan versus a linebacker, I'll take it any day, no matter who the linebacker is. In any day, I'll take Bijan. Motion. So you can come out there and you put him in the backfield, and they have a heavy box. But motion him out. Let him run a route. And if they motion him out and it's a linebacker that go out there with him, barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. Let him go do his thing. And then empty formations. Empty formations kind of the same as motion. You just start in that situation. You go empty, and they have a light box or a linebacker on him. Let him do work. But you go empty and they have a light box. You can also motion him back to the backfield, and now you got your run play versus a light box. So he's not just a football player. He's an offensive weapon. And if you build your system around what he can do, you should be good. Let's kind of get into why you should start paying your, certain running backs. There's a debate out there where it says running backs don't matter. And maybe 3 to 6 to 7 years ago, you could kind of say that because NFL became a pass-happy league. Elite running backs matter. And that's the key word, elite. Your Saquon Barkley, your Derrick Henry, your Bijan, your CMC, your Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to pay them guys because they are elite. Now, your mid-tier running backs, and I don't want to call no names to single nobody out, but if they don't stand out and they're not one of the guys, you can replace them every 3 to 4 years. Understandable. But them elite guys, you need to keep them. Look at what Derrick Henry's doing at 30, 32 years old. Look at what CMC does when healthy every year, almost 2,000 yards guaranteed, all-purpose. Watch what Gibbs does this year without Montgomery behind him. And I know they got Pacheco, but watch what Gibbs does this year. And then, matter of fact, the subject of our video lost his backup. Tyler Algier is gone. Watch what Bijan do with the extra 4 to 8 touches he going to get that they were trying to give to Algiers. Just watch. Just watch. All right, now, who's next in this group of elite guys to get paid? So as I'm recording this, JT got paid this morning. I think it was 2 years, $44 million or something like that, and y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs coming up. Throw another name out there, Breece Hall, that can do it all for the Jets. He is the Jets' offense right now. Which one of those guys are going to reset this market that Bijan and JT said this week? Those guys are coming up. And when you look at another 4 years from now, what's Jeremiah Love going to get? Because he's one of those guys that can run the ball and catch the ball at the backfield. And I'm sure there'll be somebody that'll jump up and surprise us that we don't know about at this time. But think about this crop of running backs. Your older guys, Saquon. I think Saquon's like 28, 29. Derrick Henry's 32. I think JT is approaching 30, I think. Those are your elite older guys. Now you got them young bucks coming out. Jeremiah Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan. It's CMC's in that older group. What kind of money are Gibbs, Love, Breece Hall going to get? You got to pay your elite guys because the threat of them touching the ball will draw defenders, which will open up the game for everybody else, and not only your quarterback. For your if you don't have an elite receiver, you can have above average receivers, and they'll start to go off because of the gravity of the running back. Running backs have gravity now, and in football is cyclical. So remember, the running backs used to be good when I was young. They starting to come back, but the difference is now where when I was younger, you just had to run the ball. Now you got to be able to catch it and run it. That's the key. You, as a young football player, if you play running back, work on your hands. That will double your value. Double it. Because if you're just a runner of the football, they replace you every 4 years. The key is being able to catch the ball and pass pro. You can do those two things, you're going to get paid, young fella.